Hello and welcome to this introduction, first edition of Video Blog. I'm Ed, your video podcaster. This mini-series is intended for entry-level salespeople. If you're a sales pro, you know what's being covered. At any rate, they're good tips and may serve as a refresher. We'll be covering several sales principles. First, the IATA sales approach in general, then each element one by one. Second, the matrix module in general, then each element one by one. Third, the buying motives in general, then again the elements one by one. Finally, the completed matrix module and an overview of all three. To anyone that tunes in, I hope this mini-series helps you increase your sales and cash flow wherever you may go. You're tuned to Ed's Video Podcast. I'm Ed, your video podcaster. Bye for now. Hello again and welcome to this edition of Video Blog. I'm Ed, your video podcaster. Enter the sales and sales basics. This mini-series is intended for entry-level salespeople. If you are a sales pro, you know what's being covered. At any rate, they're good tips and may serve as a refresher. Okay, let's get started. Question: what is sales? That's a hard question to answer in just 1 or 2 minutes, but let's try. Sales can be represented on a spreadsheet, a graphical display, or a big board on Wall Street. But that doesn't really answer the question, what is sales? Sales is the exchange of goods or services for compensation or barter. By that I mean money. Sales has been around since before the pyramids. We won't get into the history of pyramids or the history of sales, just a basic introduction to sales. Okay, here are the basics. This principle is simply called the IATA approach. It is the core for the cold call salesperson. Once mastered, it can make you the president of any project, service, product, or maybe even the president of your own company. Okay, what's IATA? Now we're getting somewhere. The IATA is an acronym that stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. Let's talk about attention. You have the world's greatest product or service. So you leave it in a box. Not much attention. Your product or service needs attention. You must let your customer know you have the world's greatest product or service. Interest. If the sale has no interest, who cares? There must be perks. You want to be irresistible to men or women? No problem. Just have a genie turn you into a Lamborghini or a box of chocolates. Be creative. Get your customers interested. Next, desire. The buyer must desire or want to have the product or service. Buyers must want it enough to buy it. In reality, the salesperson does not sell it, the buyer buys it. Finally, action. You must get commitment. Get action. You must ask for the sale. Otherwise, you may just look at each other until someone leaves the room. Ask, can I have the sale? I will accept your check. When would you like delivery? Your customer may not have any money on them, but they may have millions of dollars in the bank. That action is called the close. But we won't get into details during this intro. Time's up. Stay tuned for more info updates. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this edition of Ed's Video Podcast. I'm Ed, your video podcaster. Welcome back to Intro to Sales, Chapter 2, entitled The Matrix Module. The Matrix Module. Before we explore the Matrix Module, let's define its purpose. The Matrix Module is designed to assist the salesperson from the dreaded no-sale condition. Oftentimes, the sale fails to materialize simply because something in the AIDA approach has failed. Use each one of the module points to strengthen any weak points in a failing AIDA approach. Here are some examples. We talked earlier about attention. Redirect more attention using a product demo. A well-practiced demo will get anyone's attention. Desire. Maybe the time is right to simply pass off the sale to a coworker or a more experienced sales manager. Properly utilized, the Matrix Module allows the salesperson to redirect and strengthen the sales presentation. Once the AIDA principles have been applied properly, the salesperson should not have any problem landing a sale eventually. A word of caution. Most purchasing agents are aware of the AIDA approach, so use tact. Now let's look at the Matrix Module elements one at a time. The Matrix Module: likability, training, the handshake, and fear of the unknown. Let's take a look at these one at a time. Salesperson likability. Let's talk about likability. Earlier we discussed the AIDA interest and desire. Okay, but these prospective principles refer to product or service. They sound like they might mean the same thing, but they are very different. When I say likability, I'm talking about you, the salesperson, not the product or service. How likable are you? Do your clients say, first the good news, great product and service, now the bad news, but I didn't like the salesperson? Likability is as important to the sale as love is to marriage. How likable can you be? Your career as a salesperson may depend on it. To catch that coveted sale, maybe you need to be just a little bit more likable. Training, 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 and more training. I'm not going to go into too much detail as to how important training is. I would like to mention that natural disaster fire is known to be one of the most costly causes of losses to property, life, and natural resources. The same holds true for training. Training is responsible for more losses than any one single problem area. Practice your stuff. Your career as a salesperson depends on it. The handshake. The handshake is a universal concept known to most of mankind, and more recently, womankind as well. When two people meet, they greet each other and handshake. Most people are friendly and welcome a new addition to their list of friends. You do not have to fall in love with everyone you meet, but if you don't like them, they probably won't like you either, and probably won't buy anything from you, ever. Be sincere. When you meet someone, let them know you like them with a good, friendly handshake. A word about handshaking with women. As a general rule, you wait for women to offer a handshake. Although customs may vary from country to country, if she does not offer a handshake, let it pass. Hollywood movies showing scenes of aggressive men kissing women on their hands is liable to get a husband upset or maybe even get you put in jail or worse. For all practical purposes, a handshake with a woman is the same as with men. Just remember, ladies first. Generally speaking, The handshake is part of a universal concept called universality, but that's a completely different subject in itself. Let's move along now to the next subject. Fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown may be a stumbling block for some. It has been said, the only thing to fear is fear itself. This could not have more relevance than with sales. If there is something that you need to know or need to do, know it, do it. Find out what it is you need to know or do. Nothing can be more devastating than saying to yourself, oh, it's probably not important, or someone else will do it. During a presentation or meeting, you may find out how wrong you were by worrying about it later. There are other things that affect the sale, such as buying motives. These buying motives are more advanced principles that will be covered later on in this mini-series. In closing, I would like to say, never think your products or services are not good enough. If you have done your homework, your work will shine. Even if it's not what your client customer wants, your best will always fit in somewhere down the road. Time's up. Stay tuned for more info updates. I'm Ed, your video podcaster, wishing you happy sailing. Bye for now.